everyone, my name is Laura and I'm the owner of the Whalehouse. It's a historic home here in New Bedford, Massachusetts, and I'm just so excited to participate in Circa's journey around my room. Today I'm going to show you our living room, so let's get started. So I thought I would show you all the living room since it's the room that you walk into first when you get here. And here is Herman. He's taking a little bit of a nap. Yeah, this is the Whalehouse. But it was originally built for Abby Tabor Hunt back in 1855. Her father built this house for her as a wedding gift, and he lived across the street, and I'll walk over to the window and show you. So this is where Henry Tabor lived, and he built this house for her. It took about 3.5 years to build, and they lived here for 7 years before the husband passed away from tuberculosis, I believe, and they rented the house to Catherine Melville, who's Herman Melville's sister. So it's known around town kind of as the Melville House, but it's also known as the Abby Tabor Hunt House, and we call it the Whalehouse. So you'll find throughout the house we have some whale things, and here over the mantle I painted a quote from Moby Dick, since we're here in New Bedford, and that's where Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick, or wrote about, and the quote says, "I know not all that may be coming, but be it what it will, I'll go to it laughing." And that's kind of our mantra for the house, because when we first bought it, it was a crazy hoarder's nightmare. It did not look like this. We've done a decent amount of work to fix it up, and we have a little while to go, but so we use this side I call the main house, and this side is our home. We live here, but we also rent it out as a wedding prep venue, so wedding parties can come here and rent it out as a space to get ready before their wedding. And then we also rent it out as a shoot and photo shoot and film location. And then the other side of the house, the former servants' quarters, we rent out as an Airbnb. So I'll show you a few things, and this is a big bookcase here, and then this is, I think these are my mom's cousins, which is really pretty, and I love to collect old books. I love, and I love to read David Sedaris, but I love to collect old books. I love book covers. I pulled out just kind of a couple of my favorites. These are kind of like weekly time books, and they're from the early 1900s. I love to just kind of read through them and see what people were doing back then. I picked these up at auction. And then I love this book, Pinocchio. Lots of other cool books here. This is like a electric dictionary, and it has like embossed leather, which is really neat. So I'll just back up and show you this bookcase here. So these actually aren't original, but they were put in the 1980s, and this archway here actually isn't original either, and I'll walk over to the entryway and sort of show you. This would have not been here, this entryway. This is an Italianate house, so every room has 2 entrances. This would have just been a simple door, but it was opened up in 1983, right after, actually. So from I think 1930 to 1983, the home was used as part of the Swain School of Art and Design, which was the first design school in Massachusetts. And this was the painting studios and the dorms for students. So we actually have students that have grown up and they've come back here and share lots of crazy stories about college life and living in this house and all the antics that they got up to. Here's a really cool old camera from 1896. And then these little doobies here are, they came from a power plant. I love to break into abandoned buildings and take weird little things like that. So those would have lit up, but I think they're kind of cool, glass and copper. That's a powder room there, and I'll walk over to this bookcase. Lots more books. My dad did that painting of Herman, which is really cool. This is a vintage paint by number. And then these are some cool old etchings, 1879. Love to collect old things. This room is one of my favorites just because the light that comes through here is really incredible. Obviously this house was built before electricity existed, but probably was one of the first in New Bedford that had electricity along with plumbing once that was put in. But there's, I think, 72 windows in the house altogether. And a lot of them are super tall. The ceilings are 11.5 feet high, so the windows are just as big, and it just makes for great natural light all day long. So I actually get to work from home all the time, including now, obviously, but it's a beautiful place to work. And then I'll show you through this window here that's a Dawn redwood tree, or a meta sequoia. I love that tree. I feel like it looks like a grumpy grandpa or something like that. Love to search for faces inside of it. And then through this window here that's where the servants' quarters is, and that's the space of the house that we turned into an Airbnb, so they have their own private entrance. And we love to collect lots of plants. This one is a night blooming cereus. If you've never heard of them before, they actually used to have night blooming cereus parties back in the Victorian times. The plant actually sends up a big flower once every couple of years. Ours has never flowered before, but it does send up a big flower, big puffy flower, and they used to get together and have a party on the night that it would bloom, because it blooms at night. So maybe someday we'll get to have a big party for it. Here's some cool original tile. So there's 7 fireplaces in the house. 6 of them are marble, and each of them are a little bit different. It was all imported Italian marble. And then I thought I'd just show you 2 books, which I don't usually have out, but I have them out today. This is an old kind of, sort of falling apart, so I always kind of keep it tucked away, but I love the little whales on it. This is a children's book from 1925. I love the illustrations inside of it. And then this book here, a friend of mine gave me, and it is Whale Ships of New Bedford, and it has an introduction from FDR, which is pretty cool. And all the etchings are really pretty. Love to collect little things like that. So yeah, so that's this is our living room, and it's so nice to be able to share this with you today. I know everyone's stuck at home and probably feeling lots of things, but it's nice to be able to connect with people and share our spaces and know that we're going to get through all this together. So nice to meet everybody, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Bye, Herman. Good boys.